lovely creative people? Matthew here with Gear Sounds, and today we are looking and going back to the 2-cable method. We're going direct stereo, recording out, and I have no way to hear the synthesizer right now other than how it's heard in the recording, which is a great way to record, by the way. If you want to record the synthesizer, record it direct stereo like I'm doing right now, and then just wear headphones so you can hear the recording as it's happening, so you can adjust your playing accordingly. And you can also do what I'm doing down below, which is using an expression pedal for the volume of the synth. So I can bring the notes in slowly like that, and also adjust the volume of the guitar manually, so I can blend them in both at 100, both at 50-50 if I wanted, just for half volume. That way I can get a heavy attack but not get too much volume. 70-30, 60-40, anything you want. And so with those two, because there's really no quick way. You can do a mute as one of the control switches, but you have to set it up that way. There's really no other way to do it. So we're going direct stereo out into a recording device. That's the Zoom H6. And then we're recording the amp, which is a Princeton reverb. And, of course, we're recording my voice. So recording the amp, we're using an AKG 214. And, of course, the Princeton tube reverb amp is already a great tone. We got everything, the knobs, the bass and treble set at 5. Reverb is at 3.5. So to me, that's a nice tone to combine with my It's Howza, baby, custom tone that I made here. And we covered that on another episode. If you want to watch that, click that little card up in the top right-hand corner to check out that episode to find out how I made this custom Hauser tone. It's basically the Tannhauser, but you can bend it. And this actually leads to less ghost notes. And sometimes a ghost note is actually not a ghost note, it's actually a misinterpreted note, which means you want this note, but instead you get this one. That won't happen if you set it to chromatic. Now, the quality of the tone is actually worse, but it's not that much worse. So if we were to go to this part setting right here, let me show you how I did this. So When I click on the part, you see it says CS lead. Let's go to other. We want to go all the way over to others. And in the others section, you see how it says chromatic off? That's what I have it at to be able to do bending, right? If we put chromatic on, you're going to hear the quality of the notes increase. Notice how much more rich that sounds? And you're like, Matthew, why don't you do it that way? Because guess what? Now I can't bend. Now it's a stair step in the bending, right? So that's what you sacrifice. Understand that, please. Otherwise, you're not going to get the most out of the pedal. I really didn't like doing that with most of the sounds. It's unfortunate that the technology is where it's at, but it's also fortunate too, because this is pretty cool that you can do this. Now I have to do slides. But if I turn this off, play the same exact phrase. See how it's a little more robotic, a little more crunchy? But I actually like this tone. So anyways, 2-cable method. Now, this is not going to work as well with clean guitar, right? I feel like softer pads like this one Now, with really light guitar, this one sounds kind of cool. Don't be afraid to have light guitar with heavy synth, or vice versa. Just experiment. It also depends on the tone. And you can get a crunchy... Today, I'm only doing clean guitar, but you can get a crunchy guitar to work with some of the tones that I was skipping over today. It's only because I have a clean guitar tone that I was skipping over some of those harsher ones. So right now I have the guitar at 50% and I have the synth at 100%. One advantage of the 2-cable method, guys, is that, and if you're recording it properly, it's actually the 3-cable method. 4-cable method if you include the GK cable. One thing to keep in mind is that the 2-cable method, one benefit of it is that you're going to get your correct note even if you get a ghost note. So even if the synth gets it wrong, the guitar will tell it the right way. And that's going to work great if you're using a guitar tone with a little bit of synth. Not so great on this setting where I have loud synth and quiet guitar. But it still helps. So you heard even in that little glitch that it had there, the fact that I had the guitar at the same time kind of saved it, right? It helped it. So if I turn the guitar off, do the same thing. That little bang, bang, it stands out a lot more. So 2-cable method, it's almost like what I always use, but I don't play it on the channel because it doesn't let you hear the synthesizer by itself, which is what I think most people are clicking on. But this is very useful. This is how I would use it, and I think you should use it. Even if you're just using a synth tone, put a little bit of guitar in there, 10%. What's it going to hurt? It's only going to add frequencies in a place that is not existing on the synth. It's going to sound great. It's always going to sound a little bit better. I promise you. You just have to find the right guitar tone. Like you could even run the guitar tone through like some wet signal, like through a reverb, and combine that with the synth. And then use the EQ on the guitar signal to complement the frequencies that you don't have. Right? That's Squishy 4. I made these on a previous episode. I believe it was Leads, the Leads episode. The GM-800 all leads. Another thing that the 2-cable method does is actually filling in dynamics that are missing. So dynamics are small volume changes that can create expression that don't exist with the synth, that do exist with the guitar, and so those get preserved. See, like those little tiny details right there at the end. Some of them got through with the synth, but a lot of them were the same volume when... Not to mention that vibrato, so... You'll have the synth note staying the same, and then your guitar notes vibrating, which actually sounds nice. Again, unless you turn that chromatic off, which is going to decrease the quality of your note. I wouldn't recommend that for most of the patches. The Tannhauser I seem to be able to get away with it. I think that's probably the best synth jam I've ever done on Gear Sounds. I'm pretty happy with that. I think because I was actually blending the guitar signal and the synth signal in creative ways to, you know, kind of bring this. I was like playing that same little riff there. That little. There's an accidental mistake that I'm like, all right, I'm playing that. And it sounded good when it was isolated as guitar and when it was isolated as synth and when it had the 50-50 signal. So that was a great demonstration in my mind of exactly how to use the two cable method properly. And to me, this is beyond SY 1000 functionality if you have this volume pedal at your foot like I do. And if you're going to use the volume knob appropriately at the right times when you actually want to. And please express yourself, guys. Please stay healthy, lift weights, eat healthy, scan your food with the Yuka app. That's YUKA. This is not sponsored. I just want you to be healthy and look after yourself and your family. God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now. Oh yeah, and subscribe and like and do all the things. Notification bell, that stuff. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, it's Bob. I just want you to know, do not subscribe to this guy. Do not watch his videos. Definitely do not click on another video because he doesn't use a tube screamer. He leaves me underneath the bed, guys. I'm under a bed. Before this video, I was in a bed. And he just took me out to take pictures of me just to humiliate me. Don't subscribe.